Hello folks, my name's David Edgar, I'm the host of Heart and Hand, the Rangers podcast, and I'm joining you today after Rangers' 1-0 victory over Hibs at Ibrox. A Jermaine Defoe goal 5 minutes from half time gave Rangers all 3 points, a match we really should have put to bed long before a rather crazy incident at the end which could totally have swung the match in Hibs' favour. Yes, unless you've been living under a rock, I'm sure you're aware that Allan McGregor kicked out at Hibs striker Mark McNulty in the last minute while clearing the ball. Utter madness. And I do wonder if the male menopause, or the manopause I suppose it would be, is a thing, and if Allan McGregor is going through it at the moment, because he's just been a grumpy old man for the last few months. Ever since that ban up at Pittodrie, he's been going out, petulantly shouting at referees, just with a chip on his shoulder. And we can't say that this has not been coming. That's the problem. I'd love to just defend him, or I'd love to say, it was a rush of blood to the head, these things happen, it won't happen again. But the manager was pissed off with him, the crowd were extremely pissed off with him. Even walking out of the ground, people these days, of course, will get up the incident on their phones, and everyone that I spoke to, and it was a lot, or heard as I was walking out of Ibrox, it was the same thing. There was like, half-wit, no defence for that. He's got to do a bit better. He's an experienced pro, and to get sent off for that was ridiculous, because we were down, we just all subbed, so we were down to 10 men, and we had to put Ross McCrory in goal. And he should be thinking about young Robbie McCrory, because how embarrassing is it going to be for him when his twin brother comes in tonight and says to him, I've played in goal for Rangers before you have, and kept a clean sheet. What I will say about the team is that there was kind of like 5-6 minutes with injury time, and they defended brilliantly. Hibs didn't get a shot on goal during that period, which I'm sure would be a disappointment for them. You've got to try and at least work a stand-in goalkeeper, and they didn't manage it. And Rangers held on for what would have been a very well-deserved 3 points anyway. Rangers in the first half were excellent. Could have been a goal up inside a minute, a header from Scott Arfield dropping just wide of the post. Scott Arfield and Stephen Davis were absolutely tremendous, and you can tell that these are guys that are just have a level of quality that other players don't have, and form may go up and down with them, but in terms of ability, they are among the top players in this country. Absolutely fantastic. Stephen Davis is just bossing games now. He's magnificent. He's a real joy to watch at the moment, because what does it say about form and class, and he's definitely displaying that, and I think showing what a big part he has to play next season, because you can just sit him at the base of that midfield and let him anchor it, and he adds precision and drive and elegance. He's a wonderful football player. If I may dust down the old cliche, he's a certain type of car beginning with R and hyphenated. But he alone couldn't have got it done. He was ably abetted by Scott Arfield, who was magnificent at the heart of everything Rangers did, knitting together play. He was the link man between the midfield and the wide men and the forward. It was just a glorious display by him. The first half, they were both incredible. I mean, their decision-making was flawless, their passing was perfect, they just did everything that you would want, and Rangers made a whole host of chances. Beginning to get a wee bit frustrated, I think, that we weren't a goal up when we got one, and it was a wonderful goal. Davis and Jack involved in it before a great ball into the middle. Jermaine Defoe loses his marker. He's quite good at this and puts it away for what would be the winning goal. The second half was a training match, in all honesty. Both teams were jaded, is maybe the word, but they both looked like two teams who were kind of going through the motions a little bit. Rangers perhaps with an eye on next week, Hibs perhaps with an eye on Magaluf, and it wasn't a great spectacle. And then at the end, this happened. Allan McGregor is, I think, annoyed by McNulty standing in front of him as he tries to kick the ball out of his hands. And once he does it, he then follows through, sort of Karate Kid style, kicks him on the back, and then goes down as if McNulty caught him. It's awful, and it looks awful. And like I say, we'd excuse a kid, or at least say, learn from this and cuff him in the ear, but he's 38. He should know better than this, and whatever is bugging him, they need to get it out into the open. Or maybe he just had heard this chat about Rangers potentially giving Celtic a guard of honour next week and thought, there's no bloody way I'm even risking that, and got himself suspended. Rangers not going to appeal it. They couldn't. There's no moral reason at all that we could appeal that. It's just lunacy. And he'll drop out the team, and he deserves to miss that game. It really could have cost us, because had Hibs really went for it, then they should have scored. you know, they had 10 minutes against 10 men and a midfielder in goal. So, that was their own fault. But I did think that Katic, who was brilliant again today, I'm really enjoying watching Nico Katic at the moment, Connor Goldson, they marshalled the troops well. They got the ball out wide and ran down the clock and got the victory. So, yeah, I'd love to blame Bobby Madden. It wasn't his fault. It was Allan McGregor, and I'm sure he'll be fined, and I'm sure the manager will be letting him know. I mean, Allan McGregor's just having his balls treated in a certain way, but I think what's going to happen to them tomorrow will be a bit harder and administered with a large size 10. But overall, I thought good display, some good football, 5 wins in the trot. We're pretty confident going into the Celtic game. On the Guard of Honour thing, no chance. Just don't do it. Don't even countenance it, because it's something that means something to people who hate us. Celtic never show us any respect. They don't even do us the courtesy of using our name when they're talking about us on their official social media channels. And if a club pays you so little respect, why in the name of the wee man would you wish to then try and replay it back? Respect's a two-way thing. It's mutual and it's earned and it's displayed. You don't have to like each other, but you can at least behave in a civil fashion. They can't do it to us. So we're not talking here about not behaving in a civil fashion. We're not talking about getting them into their away dressing room and then soaking it with a hose, although that isn't the worst idea. But we're just talking about we're not going over and above. And considering they won't even go to basic levels of decency, I really don't feel bad about it. So if that makes us, well, you're smaller for that, you blah blah, the rest of that, fuck them, I don't care. Well done to them for winning the league, but we'll see where we are this time next year. Okay, thank you very much for joining me. If you want to hear more from us, you know where to go. It's patreon.com/Heart and Hand. That's patreon.com/Heart and Hand. $1.99 a month for over 100 hours fantastic Rangers and general football content. If not, 2 free shows a week come out Monday and Thursday. But if you are a subscriber, go and check out our interviews with Lorenzo Amoruso, Ian Durrant that came out at the end of last week. Sensational. I think you will love them. Thank you for talking to me. I'll be back this time next week. Bye-bye.